Why, hello there, fellows. Any ladies in the house? Ladies? How you doing, ladies? How you doing, gentlemen? How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing, boys and girls? Men and women? Gentlemen, sirs? Bitches? Hoes? Dinglewood here from Killing Esports. About to cast a Stork Raft 2 game for you guys. A PvZ here on Antigua Shipyards. Starting out in the east position is our red Zerg, Dracosx. And he will be facing off against the blue Protoss, jmoney, in the south. I did preview this game a little bit because I went to cast like 5 4-gates in a row, and I decided, you know what, this isn't doing anybody any good, so I'll take a peek and make sure it's not like a total shit game. And I have good news for you guys, this is not a total shit game. So what do we see so far? jmoney pokes down to his natural and drops down his first pylon here, so we can expect to see a quick second base coming out of him. He's going to try and wall off at the natural rather than just hole up in his first base for a while and get the economic lead going against his Zerg opponent. The Zerg is about to hit 15 supply. We'll see if he's going to go hatch first or pool first. It looks as though he's going to take the hatch. No, he's going to scout. And a pool just went down back at home. So he's playing a little bit safe, whereas the Protoss is playing quite greedy. Dracosx poking in with his Overlord, going to check out what's going on behind the smoke wall here. See, there's no hidden tech or anything. And his second Overlord is going to look around the natural expansion just to be sure there's no cannon rushes coming his way, so that's good safe play from him. jmoney looks like he's going to go scout. Oh no, he's just returning from scouting, so he's seen that the pool went down first. He's seen that there's no expansion yet at the 2.5 minute mark, but here it comes. Second base comes down for Dracosx, right on time. First gateway's down for the wall on jmoney's natural, and he's going to throw down his forge as well. Pretty standard wall off for taking a quick second base for Protoss. He'll be able to get a cannon or two up behind this to protect against any early lane pressure, since he knows they're not coming out super early, but he didn't see that second base come up yet, so he may be thinking that lings are on the way. So he'll wall off, get a cannon up, and be pretty much good to go to take his second base now, once he can afford it. We see he's got a couple of probes mining long distance in the meantime. Oh, he's flirting with adding on another pylon. There he goes. I guess he didn't want to put it in this piece of real estate right here. So cybernetics core finally comes down. Still not harvesting any gas. He does have an assimilator up, but he's not got anybody in it yet. And just like that, in he goes with 2 workers, 3 workers now. Dracosx scouting out the entire map. Zerglings running here and there. This drone may be looking to do maybe a weird ninja third. I don't know why he would be scouting with a drone when he's got lings on the field, but that's okay. Queens are up, ready to inject. Second and third queen are in the pipe, coming down now. No gas coming down for Dracosx yet either, so I guess he's not looking to get Zergling speed right away. And boom, there they are. The 3 of them come in. So equal supply so far, 5 minutes into the game. Couple of lings going to shoot down the map and make sure that there's no holes in jmoney's wall. If they can get by, then that'd be great for Dracosx. He'll be able to get a couple of worker kills, or at least get some good scouting information just to see what's available. But no, a couple of zealots back there are going to schwack them as they come through. No cannon up yet though, so they do actually make it all the way into the main, and they're going to get to see everything that they want to see right through the mineral line. And they're not going to get any kills, but they did get to see everything. They know what tech jmoney has and does not have, so that information was pretty critical. Right around the 6 minute time is exactly when you want to see what your opponent is doing as a Zerg, so good for him. He's got all the info that he could want. We'll see, he just spent a bunch of money. Is he going to put down a third? Yes. Okay, so 300 minerals does go down. The shadow for the third base for Dracosx comes up, so he's going to take a quick third, knowing that his opponent is going to be on 2 base. Good idea for Zerg to be 1 base ahead of the Protoss at a minimum. Couple of cannons at the front now, so that's going to ward away any further Zergling pokes. Zergling speed on its way for Dracosx. And shield upgrade for jmoney. That is extremely uncommon. You know, normally you see ground or armor. Usually ground weapons is the priority, and it just feels like the shield upgrade is the least bang for your buck kind of thing. If you're going to invest the time and you're going to invest the money in any upgrade, they all cost the same for the first level. Actually, no, shield's quite a bit more expensive. Wait, no, I'm talking out of my ass. That's for level 2. So yeah, they all cost 100 minerals and 100 gas, so typically you're better off making your zealots a little bit stronger, but we'll see what he intends to do. I mean, if you were going to go for like an Archon build or something, then the shields would almost make sense because their health is like 90% shield, you know. But so far we see no inclination that he's going to be going for Archons. There's no Templar Archives coming down. Double Stargate does, though. Triple Stargate. That would be why, wouldn't it? Okay, so he's going to forego ground troops completely and do some sort of airplay. We'll have to see if he's going to go Void Ray or Phoenix. Dracosx has his 3rd base up now. How's the worker count looking? Really close, actually. Dracosx must have been missing some drone production because they're only on 39 and 41 respectively. The Zerg is actually behind. A couple of Lings going to ward away this Zealot, but that's good information for jmoney, so now he knows what his opponent is doing as well. Big supply lead for the Zerg, so I suppose that would be Army. Let's take a look at the Army count tab. So Army supply 4 to 13, not real big for either player, but the Zerg does have more units on the field. Getting decent injects. His queens aren't on a ton of energy. This one's got 50 energy sitting around, so she's missed a few injects. Looks like Spire coming down to get some Mutalisks out, perhaps, for Dracosx, and a couple of Evolution Chambers to start on upgrades. And here comes Void Rays out of the Protoss. So, +1 air weapons being researched out of the Cybernetics Core. A couple of Void Rays being pushed out. And a 3rd one from the 3rd base. So, we're going to see Zealot Void Ray, I guess. What I would like to see out of our Zerg player is an Overlord sent in here to do a little more scouting, as he has not seen what's going on in quite a while. So his vision is pretty much nothing. He knows there's a 2nd base and that's it. He does have good control of the Xel'Naga Tower in the middle of the map with his Zerglings, but that's really all he's got going for him. And we'll have to see how quickly he pushes out Mutas once his Spire finishes. Overseer coming out, so he might be expecting Dark Templar, or at least preparing for the fact that there might be Dark Templar at some point. So he is getting detection up, and he is throwing down Spore Crawlers now at his bases, which is additional detection, but it'll also be some good anti-air defense against those Void Rays. So he's kind of guessing, or no, I guess more than guessing, he's covering his bases. So that's going to pay off for him once these Void Rays move out. I don't even know where he put them down at. Okay, so he's building one in his natural. And was there another one? I guess he just put down the one. So he's going to want to add on a couple of more. Still about a 20 supply lead for the Zerg. Both players sitting on a good amount of money, so they'll have plenty of cash to spend if they decide to get around to doing so. The Zerg now breaking 1,000 minerals, so I'd like to see some more production out of him. 5 Mutalisks coming out for him. We see, what is this? Graviton Catapult. Now, I believe that is a carrier buff. Yeah, so that's... And here comes a carrier. So we're going to see Void Ray Carrier coming out of jmoney, and he's getting the kind of requisite interceptor buff that allows the interceptors to come out of the carrier a little faster. So that'll help with earlier engagements. And he's going to add on a bunch of gateways and a robotics facility. So he'll be able to get some observers out, perhaps. And it'll be interesting to see if he's going to go just pure Zealot, I guess. Yeah, it looks that way. So he's just going to have Zealots on the ground to kind of soak damage while the Void Rays get to work. It could be quite devastating, really. +2 air weapons coming out for jmoney, as well as Zealot Charge. Meanwhile, +1 air damage comes out for the Zerg player, who is expanding like a madman now. He's adding on a 4th and a 5th base. So he'll be well prepared economically if he can get his drone count up. How's he looking on drones now? Still only 69. So that would be reasonable for 3 bases, but he's about to be on 5 base, so he's going to want a whole lot more drones. We can see he's making a few, but really, while he's not being pressured by his opponent, he needs to be hitting these injects and just making a couple of rounds of pure drones and sending them off to that 4th and 5th base. We can see he's missing his injects at every single base right now, so he's clearly caught up with something else. Not producing anything, really. Not moving anything around the map. Here we go. So he's preparing to do some Muta harass. He's going to move out with, what is this, 18 Mutalisks, but he's going to go head-on into these... Oh, it's just Zealots coming out, so that's perfect. There's nothing to take these Mutalisks out of the air, and they're going to get a bunch of free damage on the Zealots. Void Rays do come in, plus the carrier. The air was a little bit behind, but this is such a thick Mutaflock that the AE damage, those bouncing glaive worms of theirs, just kind of take everything out. That's a great win here for Dracosx. And this carrier is on its last stand, and it's going to fall. So nothing but Zealots on the ground now. And he's, jmoney that is going to warp in some Stalkers to try and help out. Oh, I'm missing an engagement here. Big Zealot push comes into the 3rd base of Dracosx, and it's going to get just a ton of worker kills, but ultimately not going to have an answer for this Mutalisk. Zerglings come in now to assist. We see... Still missing those injects. If Dracosx had been hitting these injects, he'd have a whole lot more Zerglings to send in here to help with this. But he might actually lose his 3rd base now if these Mutalisks can't clean up all these Zealots in time. But they do, in fact, knock them all down. Knock them all down. So a good kind of attack by jmoney, but unfortunately his air just wasn't enough to clean up that big Mutalisk flock, and it seemed like he hadn't actually scouted that Dracosx was going to Mutalisk, so he was not prepared for that. Otherwise, we probably would have seen a whole bunch of Phoenixes mixed in with that. Fleet Beacon is down. Maybe a mothership in the future? No, Fleet Beacon was required for carriers. What the hell am I talking about? I hear some engagement going on. Zealots and Zerglings kind of skirmishing out here in front of the natural of jmoney. We've got 1 carrier, half a dozen Stalkers, and just a bunch of charge lots here. But he needs to make something happen because 5 base versus 2 base is not going to go favorably for jmoney. Muta count's getting quite high again. 2 whole lines. What's that? 16 mutas? Well, we can just cheat and look at the units tab. So 17 mutas on the field and 22 lings. Are they upgraded? No, 0 lings and only 1 damage upgrade for the mutas against no upgrades for the Zealots either, just that 1 shield upgrade that he did. So kind of an unupgraded army squaring off against an unupgraded army, and they're both looking pretty similar in supply count right now, but you have to remember that the Zerg is on so many more bases that the economy is going to be in the Zerg favor in a big way. Look at the income tab. Equal on harvesters, but yeah, look at the money coming in for the Zerg. Definitely like 500 minerals per minute more. So he'll be able to throw lings at this army all day to kind of keep the Zealots busy while just having to have those mutas focused on the air units. That said, the Protoss units are stronger one-on-one, so we'll have to see how the numbers game works out when the big fight happens. Looks like air damage level 3 coming out now, so these are going to be doing a whole bunch of damage, these carrier interceptors. Muta's on 1-1 now, so that'll help them survive a little bit, but really, Mutalisks aren't an enduring unit. They kind of, they're fast, they're mobile, they're agile, but they can't take damage. Looks like they're going to meet here now. 19 minutes into the game, the Zealots and the Stalkers lead the push with carriers behind them. What is Dracosx going to be able to do about this with just mutas and Zerglings? I can't even tell what's going on here. There's so much carnage on the ground. It looks like these Zealots, though, just such a strong unit. They're kind of mowing their way through those Zealots. These Mutalisks are attacking ground units and not focusing down the air units, which was a huge mistake, and it looks like Dracosx loses his whole army, and he's not replacing them with anything but 4 Mutalisks. And just like that, yeah, he wasn't replacing his lost units, and you can't fight a battle without an army. So 3,200 minerals in the bank, not spending them anywhere. Just kind of a poor production game coming out of Dracosx. We can see throughout the whole game his queens are on max energy now because he just was not using his injects at all. None of these bases had inject larvae on them. And yeah, I guess +2 weapon air units out of a Protoss army, pretty strong against a Zerg who's not doing his macro job. So GG there, jmoney takes an easy win. Thanks for watching. I'm Inglewood. I'll catch you guys next time.